Shouldn't even say that, probably.
All right, everyone, Charlie Blackmon. We'll get started with Tracy. Go ahead, Tracy.
Charlie, over the years, you've filled about every different role in the lineup, from hitting the leadoff against with some pretty good hitters behind you to hitting the middle of the lineup. How much of an adjustment has it been for you in the transitions of this is probably your third different transition now as a hitter?
I do think hitting in the middle of the order is tough. Those are the guys you look to drive in runs, and it seems like pitchers are generally okay with walking guys in the middle of the order. And what that means is just because you have count leverage, or just because a guy normally throws a lot of fastballs or is really aggressive over the plate, doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to see the same thing.
Thank you.
Owen, go ahead.
Yeah, Charlie, could you take us through that at bat in the seventh against Hill and your approach and how that went?
Yeah, he's an uncomfortable at bat with the different arm angle, and he kind of just slings it. But he's pretty tough on lefties, and I was able to get myself into a pretty good count. And really, I was just trying not to do too much right there. You know, a lot of times you try and overswing or get really big, you end up making more mistakes than doing anything good. And so I really just try to really focus on getting a good pitch to hit and not trying to swing too hard. And
from a distance, it looks like you're putting more focus on hitting the other way recently. I don't know if that's true or not, but it looks that way. Is that true? And is that affecting your hitting as a whole? And how so?
No. I mean, personally, I'd rather pull the ball. Pulling the ball is the best way to hit. You know, you hitting the ball usually harder towards corner defenders is much better than hitting the ball back up the middle or hitting the ball the other way where you don't have nearly as much power. So I'm not. It's more of a product of, like, I guess, taking good swings rather than like trying to hit the ball the other way.
Okay. And finally, you guys are on pace to have the best home winning record of your career for the Rockies, and the second best ever for the Rockies. Can you do you have a theory, putting your finger on what is making it so successful at home this year?
I think our guys are just pitching really good. To be honest, I think our starting pitching has been very good at home. I think that's the difference. I don't know that I would say that we're scoring any more runs. I really think it's mostly the pitching is doing a good job.
Thank you.
Thomas.
Yeah, Charles, first with CJ hitting behind you, and he's on fire this month. How much has it helped you, and what have you seen out of him in the bat he's swinging?
Yeah, he's doing a great job. It seems like he's taking good swings. He's taking his walks, and he just keeps hitting homers. I mean, he's doing a really good job, and that's probably, part of the reason why I've been able to see it. Seems like maybe a few more fastballs lately, but he's having a good season, and he's playing really well as of late. And he's just looking really good up there.
For yourself, you're one behind Tulo on the team list for home runs. You're at 187. He was at 188. I know these things are hard to think about during a career, but how special is it to each time you accomplish something, you could be moving up on an all-time list?
I think it's cool mostly because I know a lot of the people that you see, right? There's not a ton of history in the franchise, so it's not, it's it's nothing to scoff at, but at the same time, we don't go back to 1900 like some of the organizations. So the cool thing is that means that most of those really good players on that list, I either got to play with them or know them, and that's the most exciting part for me.
And last one for me, Herman was not feeling very good today. I know that Buddy announced that after the game, and Herman said he wasn't feeling good, but to see him kind of tough out and really pitch well up until the time that he left the game, what did that mean for the club?
Yeah, he did so good. I mean, once again, he was the best ball player on the field tonight, I think, right? He pitched into the seventh, and really, like, I thought he was going to go complete game. I mean, his efficiency was so good. He was throwing so many strikes and just dominating, really. And then had two RBIs. Like, when was the last time? Here's a good stat. When was the last time somebody had 2 RBIs out of the pitcher spot and 2 different, in different at bats, right? Single or something, but like RBIs in 2 different at bats and through 7+ innings to get the win. I mean, that probably doesn't happen a lot.
That's right. Hey, thank you, Charlie.
Are you there? We'll go Patrick Saunders. Go ahead, Patrick.
Yeah, Charlie, can you hear me? We're having some problems. Hey, you'd mentioned to an earlier question about the winning all the games here at home, and rightly, you gave a lot of credit to the pitching. But you guys have also set a franchise record already for walk-off wins. And so that has to say something about this team too. So if you look at it from that perspective, what does that tell you about this team, that you're not only winning here, but you've won a lot of games in dramatic fashion?
That is a good point. I hadn't thought of that. I think our team does a really good job of continuing to try to win games, no matter what the situation is. And so, we've had some really tough breaks late in the game, and then it would be a situation where it would be easy to say, "Oh man, we blew it," and then take the loss. But the Rockies put together some at bats. Next thing you know, we got a rally going, and then we win the game. And it just seems like our guys don't quit.
We'll go back to Nick Groke. Go ahead, Groke.
Yeah, hey, Charlie, sorry, Zoom is uncool sometimes, but just a quick curiosity, if you don't mind. On your home run, it's kind of tough to tell up here sometimes, but it seemed like you were charging pretty hard around first base. And did you, and like maybe on the replay, were you talking to yourself a little bit or talking to your dugout? Was that an excitement of a tough at bat?
Yeah, I'm not a big emotion guy on the field. Sometimes I like to be in control of what I'm thinking and not let my feelings get the best of me. But that was a pretty good hit there, a good time. I got a little excited. Mostly talking to myself. That's a product of playing in the outfield.
Gotcha. Thank you.
We'll finish up with Samantha Bradfield. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Charlie, can you hear me okay? So I was talking to Sam Hilliard pregame, and he cited you as someone who he really looks up to and a hitter that he's really trying to emulate himself. So like, what are your general thoughts on Sam, and how have you been helping him as a hitter and just as a ball player in general?
Sam is an incredible talent. He's bigger, faster, stronger than just about anybody I've seen. Which is, that puts you in a situation where you have incredible potential. And I've seen him make some adjustments that are really hard to make, that I struggle to make myself. And then he goes up there and he's able to do them, at bat to a bat or pitch to pitch even. But the hard part about playing in the big leagues is you've got to be able to do that consistently every day. And that's where Sam is right now. He's really, really good. And then he you know, and then he's like maybe not as good for a little while, and then he's really, really good again, you know, and he's trying to navigate those peaks and valleys just like every player, especially young players. But he's a really hard worker, wants to be a good teammate, wants to play well, wants to come through in a big spot. So I believe in him, and I think he's going to be a good big league player.
Thank you.